Welcome to the BMC Remedyforce Winter 18 Early Access Program. My name is John Fulton and I'm one of the product managers for BMC Remedyforce. In this session, we'll cover the integration enhancements between the BMC Remedyforce CMDB and BMC Discovery targeted for Winter 18. Please be aware that what we are showing you today is referring to future product which is under NDA and our safe harbor statement applies. An additional note, because of a dependency, I want to also make you aware that in addition to delivering these enhancements in the Winter 18 release of Remedyforce, there are a number of capabilities and enhancements that the BMC Discovery solution will be providing in their next release, which is 11.3. The timing of that release is currently in the first half of 2018. I'll have a more precise time frame as we approach that date, but there will be some delay between the time we release Remedyforce Winter 18 and BMC Discovery 11.3. Until Discovery 11.3 is released, the enhancements I'll be covering today cannot be leveraged. So what are the enhancements that are targeted with BMC Discovery and Remedyforce? I boiled this down into really two key slides. And again, the intent of today's session is just give you a high-level overview. As we move through the EAP and our development, I will work in more detail on the integration, potentially some screenshots and even a demo. And this first initial slide really boils down the key differences between what we have today that's currently GA versus what we're targeting in the Winter 18 and BMC Discovery 11.3 releases. If we start at the top there with out-of-the-box classes, today there are 6 out-of-the-box classes which are delivered through Pentaho packages. We are targeting up to about 30 different classes, and the whole logic here was we identified all the relevant classes that we know BMC discovers, and we are intending to provide those out of the box instead of providing those as or forcing customers to create their own sort of packages. The other point is we jump to the bottom from a technology perspective, which is a common theme across all these points, is that we are removing the dependency on Pentaho, which is required today, and moving to the newly available APIs, REST APIs that were provided with Discovery in conjunction with Remedyforce. And so the configuration and setup will all be done through screens versus having to install and leverage Pentaho. So Pentaho will no longer be needed for this enhanced integration. So moving back to the top, support for applications. Another key strength of BMC Discovery is application dependency mapping and the ability to define applications. And in the world of BMC Discovery, an application really consists of configurable components, meaning that you could define an application, say Oracle ERP system. And based on what Discovery discovers through the mapping, you can identify the components that roll up to that Oracle ERP system, so it allows you to create a logical grouping. And with the support for applications, what that means is now if you define that kind of application within BMC Discovery, that information will be synchronized with the Remedyforce CMDB. Along the same theme, we are adding support for cloud assets. So there's a new class BMC Discovery introduced in their 11.2 release called Cloud Instance. And so that Cloud Instance class has been added to Remedyforce and will be one of the classes that will be synchronized along with the relationships within Remedyforce CMDB. And on that same note, relationships, again, another key strength of BMC Discovery is not only what it discovers in the data center, it also discovers the relationships across those components. And one of the focuses on the integration enhancements is to support all the relevant relationships. So we will be synchronizing and updating relationships that were discovered from BMC Discovery back into the Remedyforce CMDB, and in turn gives you the ability to leverage the relationships through the Relationship tab, through the Explorer, a variety of different ways that information could be leveraged. In addition, we are providing relationship management, and this actually goes a little bit deeper in that not only will we give you the ability to update and identify inactive relationships, which will be synchronized and updated back into Remedyforce, we're taking that same approach on objects. And within BMC Discovery, by default, inactive records, so say an inactive server, for example, It doesn't become inactive until, I think the default is after 7 scans. So after 7 scans, if Discovery does not find it in the BMC Discovery solution, it will be flagged as inactive. And again, that's configurable, so you can change that, to a higher or lower number of scans. Point being that once it's flagged as inactive in Discovery, that field or that property is also synchronized in Remedyforce, so you'll have the ability to filter and also identify what's active and what's inactive. So some pretty significant enhancements. We're very excited to provide these, and it really not only simplifies the setup and configuration of the integration, it reduces some of the manual customization that some customers are going through, for example, to create additional classes that will no longer be needed. You won't have to worry about Pentaho. We'll provide the UI to control and configure the integration. So again, the key point being that there is a dependency of the delivery of BMC Discovery 11.3, which will be sometime in the beginning of next year. But there will be some delay between the time we release Remedyforce Winter 18 and BMC Discovery 11.3, so just be aware of that. The only other slide I have here, just to give you some more context specific to the out-of-the-box classes, is a list of the classes that we are targeting. You can see the 6 existing classes that we support today: the computer system, IP endpoint, LAN endpoint, OS processor, and software server. So the intent is to support those along with the 28 roughly other new classes, and you can see the first one being application service, and cloud instance, to name a few at the top. What's also nice is there's some other more detailed components or classes, database, for example, cluster, additional detail that BMC Discovery will find and relate to other parent objects. All that information will now be automatically synchronized and imported into the Remedyforce CMDB. That's the conclusion of this brief session, just to highlight the integration enhancements targeted between the Remedyforce CMDB and BMC Discovery. I hope this session was informative. As I mentioned, I will be updating the content as we move forward with the development, and we'll share more details on the timing of the Discovery release. But again, I just want to make it clear that there is that dependency with BMC Discovery for these capabilities. Thank you and have a great day.